Welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're talking about a tree. You probably walk right past it every single day. It lines our city streets, it drops those really beautiful yellow leaves in the fall. But, you guys, this seemingly ordinary plant holds an unbelievable secret. The Ginkgo biloba is the ultimate survivor. I mean, we're talking about a tree that has literally stared down the end of the world multiple times, and won.
Let's actually just jump right into the absolute most extreme example of this. August 6th, 1945. Hiroshima. The day the atomic bomb fell. The devastation was just absolute. Temples, homes, entire forests were turned to ash in an instant.
Just to truly wrap your head around the scale of this, 3,000 degrees Celsius. That's how hot the temperatures reached near the blast. Within a 2-kilometer radius of the epicenter, almost everything was completely flattened. Every living thing was seemingly erased in just a flash of unimaginable heat.
But here is the absolutely crazy part. 6. Miraculously within that exact 2-kilometer radius of total destruction, 6 ginkgo trees were left standing. I mean, their leaves were instantly vaporized. Their outer bark was charred pitch black and totally cracked open from the heat. But the inner wood? It actually survived.
You really can't overstate the profound emotional impact these trees had. Shinzo Hamai, who was the first mayor of Hiroshima after the bombing, recalled how less than a year after the destruction, seeing a tiny green shoot push through the blackened wood of the A-bomb desert was just overwhelming. These trees became known as Hibaku Jumoku, survivor trees. Those little green shoots became these incredibly powerful, living symbols of hope and resilience for a totally devastated city. And get this, remarkably, all 6 of those trees are still alive today.
Part 1. The biology of immortality. How the ginkgo cheats death. Okay, let's dive into this, because how exactly does a simple tree survive a nuclear apocalypse? Like, what is actually going on inside its trunk to withstand that kind of trauma? Well, the secret lies just beneath the bark, in something called the vascular cambium. Basically, this is a super thin layer of tissue where new wood is made. Now, in most trees, as they get older, this layer slows down. The tree ages, it hits its peak, and then it slowly fades. But researchers looking at ginkgos found something completely incredible. The ginkgo's cambium just keeps dividing, endlessly. It's like a biological factory that works the exact same shift century after century and literally never shuts down.
It's basically a 3-part biological armor. First, like we just said, that cambium relentlessly keeps dividing to build new wood. Second, deep in that wood, defense genes stay active. In a normal, aging tree, these genes would go quiet over time, but in the ginkgo, they stay loud, constantly producing compounds that seal off damaged tissue. And third, chemistry. The tree constantly releases flavonoids that act like a flush, clearing out waste that would normally cause old wood to stiffen and crack.
So what does this all mean? It means a ginkgo totally defies the normal biological curve of life. Look at this. A 600-year-old ginkgo acts exactly like a 20-year-old tree. Its leaves are the exact same size, the seeds are the exact same weight, its body just keeps building. And that really thick outer bark? It acts as a natural firewall. When the atomic blast hit Hiroshima, that outer bark absorbed the massive heat, completely protecting the relentless dividing life inside.
Section 2. Surviving Deep Time. A prehistoric masterclass. Because here's the thing. The atomic bomb? That's just the latest apocalypse this tree has shrugged off. Let's zoom out from the microscopic biology for a second and look at deep time.
270 million years. That is a staggering number. That is how long the ginkgo lineage has existed on this planet, virtually unchanged. It is literally the ultimate living fossil. We're talking about a species that has survived shifting continents, ice ages, and multiple global mass extinctions. Just to put that into perspective for a second, the ginkgo evolved back in the Permian period, around 270 million years ago. Dinosaurs? They didn't even show up until the Triassic period, which was about 252 million years ago. So the ginkgo predates the dinosaurs, it provided shade for the dinosaurs, and then it outlived them by tens of millions of years. It's actually the sole survivor of its entire botanical order.
Part 3. The stench of survival. The price of immortality. Now, we do kind of need to shift gears and address the elephant in the room about this majestic tree. Because, survival of this magnitude definitely comes with a price, and it's a rather unpleasant secret weapon.
Seriously, if you've ever walked past a female ginkgo tree in the fall, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They drop these little fleshy, apricot-like seeds. And why do they smell like vomit? Nope, really. It's notorious. It literally smells like a mix of rancid butter and an upset stomach.
The culprit here is butyric acid. It's a chemical compound right in the fleshy outer layer of the seeds. And yes, it's the exact same chemical that gives rancid butter its awful smell. But why? Well, millions of years ago, this putrid scent was actually a brilliant evolutionary adaptation. It was likely designed to attract ancient carnivorous animals to eat the fruit and disperse the hard inner seeds. The dinosaurs are long gone, sure, but the ginkgo is still out there ringing the dinner bell.
Only males allowed. Because of that notorious smell, city planners today have a very strict rule. See, ginkgos are dioecious, which means there are separate male and female trees. So, to keep our sidewalks clean and our noses happy, modern landscapers almost exclusively plant male ginkgo trees. They only produce pollen, so we avoid the stinky fruit altogether.
Section 4. Our modern guardians. Ancient trees on city streets. So this brings us right back to your daily life. Why are these prehistoric survivors lining the streets of huge, incredibly polluted cities like New York, London, and Tokyo?
Well, it turns out the exact same biochemical armor that protected the ginkgo from atomic radiation makes it the absolute perfect shield against modern urban pollution. Just look at these superpowers. The tree's chemistry neutralizes toxic species caused by smog. Its robust roots tolerate that heavy, compacted city soil perfectly. Its waxy leaves actually repel airborne pollutants. And because of those loud defense genes we talked about, it naturally resists almost all insect pests and diseases. It's literally built for the concrete jungle.
But here is probably the most fascinating, beautiful twist in the ginkgo's entire 270 million year story, saved by humanity. Despite outliving the dinosaurs, as the last ice age ended, climate change almost wiped them out completely. They were restricted to just a few tiny pockets in China, and it was human cultivation, specifically by ancient Chinese Buddhist monks who recognized their value and tended them at monasteries over 1,000 years ago, that saved the entire species from going extinct.
We save them, and now they shade us. One writer put it so perfectly. These ancient, quiet friends are watching over us. Those 6 original survivor trees in Hiroshima, they're still standing. And their seeds have been carefully collected and planted in over 100 cities worldwide as living symbols of peace. They're just unassuming trees standing guard on our modern sidewalks, offering us this masterclass in pure resilience.
Which leaves us with one final, totally awe-inspiring question to think about. The ginkgo has survived the reign of the dinosaurs, the freeze of the ice ages, and the blast of atomic bombs. What on earth will it outlive next? Thank you so much for joining me on today's Explainer. The next time you walk past a ginkgo, take a second, look at those little fan-shaped leaves, and give it a nod of respect. It has definitely earned it.